We met at RX Radio and we talked
Yeah,
about your
yeah,
campaign,
yeah,
Helping Hand. It's also one of other campaigns that you have done. You've also, used your platform not only to like market other people, help other
yeah,
businesses,
yeah,
but also to, try to help in other ways, charitable causes.
yeah, yeah.
So when did that start?
Still November, so
Okay, so this birthday month was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna.
so yeah, I
Mhm.
wanted to give back. I didn't want to like. I wanted to give that to the world because the world had given me so much
Mhm.
that I was grateful for.
Mhm.
So in November, I got the idea that I could actually do a charity, a drive, create up like 2 or 3 million and buy sugar, kilo of sugar and take it to a shelter or something like that.
Mhm.
But it took long because of procrastination and also this whole thing of, am I really going to be able to pull it off?
Mhm.
And then in December, I contacted a gentleman called Dennis Asimwe, and he helped me put together proposals and whatnot. And then my girls, Faith Molonji and Hazel Mebesa, they were really supportive. And we, Faith has the Amani Foundation, and I
Mhm.
didn't have a foundation at the time. So Dennis was like, you are not going to approach organizations for their money and then not when you don't have anything to back you up. Who are
You
you?
don't have
Pesha
a
Ahumuza people.
structure.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I used Faith Molonji's Amani Foundation and went on board to contact very many organizations that actually came on board and were able to raise about 6 million. And it was really impressive, but it was also scary. Like, I have actually done this. I've actually pulled this off. At one point, when they switched off the internet, the banks were not working. Like, how am I going to go to these shelters with 3 million? I have two shelters I have to feed. I have about 50 women.
Mhm.
How am I going to feed them?
Mhm.
But people still came through, and I don't know how many times I'm going to say I'm grateful, but I am grateful. I am really,
Mhm.
really grateful.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for the people who I follow and follow me. I feel like social media has been really, really, really good to me. I mean,
Mhm.
they have bullied me, yeah, but that's life.
Well, you're not shy about hitting back. That much I
Yeah,
have to say.
yeah,
I've seen you're very willing to come out and say no, I don't agree with this or I don't agree with that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, in your work, especially helping women, I've also seen that much as we're talking about women being sexually harassed, we're also talking about women who have experienced sexual violence
yeah,
and the narrative that is always around, oh, you must have done something for it to happen to you. And it starts, like you said, you were 7 years old.
yeah.
And whether it's a little girl, whether it's an old woman, there's always that, she must
She
have
must
done
have done
something to
something to
ask for
him,
it to
yeah.
become a target.
But
And that is very difficult to live with as a victim. But then also, there's need for so much therapy and, help that needs to come after the
yeah,
healing
yeah,
process.
yeah.
Is that something that you're involved in as well?
Not at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Faith is working on that with her
Mm.
organization,
Yeah.
Faith Molonje. And also, there's also an organization that a group of girls, ladies, have started on Twitter. It's called FemUG, I think.
Okay.
Fempower UG, something like that. I've forgotten
Mm-hmm.
the real name. But so Fempower UG, they do fundraisings, and then they use that money to pay for therapy. And these are my friends, so definitely if I get to
So you've been sharing what they're
exactly,
doing.
we
Mm-hmm.
when you support that organization, because at the end of the day they are doing the work, they're doing the feminist work, they're going to support me when I'm doing a drive because they did support me. So it's that constant, we have to support each other. I
Mm-hmm.
can put food on the table, what can you do? You can take them for therapy. So what can another organization do? They can give them the shelter. So there's that constant, we have to work together because one person can't pull it off.
Yeah.
I do not, there are days when I go with barely food, you get my point. So I also have my struggles. So I need someone to also step up and do something while another person, and we have to hold each other's hand. We have to constantly support each other because no one is going to do that for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very hard to find a shelter in Kampala that houses women who are victims of domestic violence.
Yeah.
It is really hard. And that is sad because the numbers are insane. Yeah? And when you hear people, most of the people saying, why are you taking them from their homes? Why are you taking them from their husbands? Then you'll break the marriage. But marriage is broken the moment he even thought about beating up this woman. It was broken a long time ago. There's nothing to mend. And you can't put a woman's life at risk because, oh, the culture, the family, that
How
family
can
is
she leave?
broken.
How will it look? What will
Exactly.
people
Those kids
say?
need a
Their
mother.
children.
Exactly. Those kids need a mother. And she's not going to be a mother to them when she's in her grave.
Yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely.
She's not going to achieve her dreams when she's in a grave. Because, and then when they die, you hear, why didn't she leave? Like, I need people to choose a struggle and actually say, what do you want? Because you didn't want me to live. Then I died. Then you're saying, why didn't I live? What do you want?
And that's what happens. Why
That
didn't
is-
someone help? Why
exactly.
didn't someone step in?
But when she shares about how she's being beaten up, then you are talking about how she's been to your maka. Those are things in the home. You can't share that. It is that constant. I feel like
Even
in the
the
African
discussion around
culture,
marital rape.
exactly, and most people don't believe. Our parliament doesn't believe it exists, and that thing breaks my heart so much because there's so many women who are suffering in the marriages and they think that's okay. Yeah, just because I walk down the aisle with you does not mean that I will always be ready for sex. You get my point?
And also,
It
I mean,
doesn't.
if you have a partner who's irresponsible, who's
Exactly.
sleeping around
Exactly.
carelessly, they can bring infections and disease back to you, but you're expected that, to duty.
I've read stories of women who have been raped a few days or weeks after they've given birth.
Yeah. By their partners, by their husbands.
How do you say you love someone and you do something like that to them?
Because you need at least 6 weeks to heal.
What is it that's so bad that you can't wait for 6 more weeks? What is it? That I just can't wrap my mind around that. And when you're constantly saying that, oh, these things, these narratives, the feminist narratives are breaking the African family, the African family is broken. Look at the kids. We have mental health issues. We are depressed. We have anxiety. We have so many bad things, and no one is addressing that. Yeah, but it is in the African society. Until we come back and talk about these things that are happening in these homes, the rape, the abuse, until we talk about that, the African family is going to be completely broken.
Yes, absolutely.
It is going to be completely broken. Yeah.
Well, I love that you're using your platforms. Like you said, you have all this influence, you have your platforms, and you've been trying to help other people to give back because they've been good to you.
Yeah.
And now you're in that space where you're a digital influencer.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of young people, you know this now, especially with all the platforms we have, that everyone wants to be an influencer. And, people make mistakes along the way. I love what you said about, you have to work with a product that makes sense, that is actually,
Yeah.
can do something
Yeah.
that is completely out of your character. But what are some of the steps that you feel that, a lot of people want to get into this space? What are some of the steps that they should take and things that they should know as someone who's also had your journey and you're getting to a point now?
Well, first of all, I feel like I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still struggling. But still, I think it's very important for you to find your niche, to find that one thing that you can sell and study it. Do you want to become a beauty cosmetics influencer? Yes. What do you know about cosmetics? Apart from how they smell good, what do you know? You get my point. Go back to the drawing board and learn every other bit about these things, because then you are an influencer. You're selling an experience. Yeah. When I'm selling a beauty
telling a
product,
story.
you're telling a story. So when I'm telling soap to you, I'm telling you how I feel about the soap. That is what I'm supposed to sell. So I need to know everything about that soap and how it affects me. Then I'll be able to sell it. I feel like that is a very important thing. You can't always be using a write-up from a product from the business owner to sell the business. Then you become like what, like a radio of sorts? Like,
An announcer.
exactly, you're just announcing that. So you need, I have been there. So it has been, I'm not saying that, oh my God, I didn't start like that. No, we probably all start like that. But you can't stay there. You can't stay there. You need to get out of that space and ask yourself, is this where I'm going to be? Am I always going to be that? Because when you're always there, then one, you're actually receiving little money. You do not have that bargaining power to say, I want more because I have this knowledge about this. So that kind of thing, until you actually get out of your safe, your comfortable space and get to know better, get to know more about this product, you will still receive little money. That is one. Then secondly, I feel like you have to position yourself. If, for instance, you want to be a boutique influencer, how often do you share your outfits and whatnot? You get my point, like style ideas. And I mean, I do not think I would be a boutique influencer. I mean, yeah, for the money, but how often do you see me tweeting about how I'm dressed or how I brought this outfit up? But then I have a friend called Vicky, and they have a full-blown platform about style. So definitely, if I want to get influencers for style, I'm going to go for Ivy and Vicky. You get my point. I am not going to go to Pesh. And if I want a feminist, someone to do feminist work influencing, I'm going to go to Faith. You get my point. So there's that constant, because she's always talking about feminism. She has positioned herself in that space.
Yes.
Yeah. When there's some engineering work, I know some engineers on the timeline that I'm going to go to. I'm not going to jump out of the blue and give Pesh engineering work because what do I know about engineering? I do not know the first thing. So it is very important to position yourself if you want to target a certain market. As an influencer, you need to start positioning yourself and putting out that kind of content in that industry, so that when businesses are looking for influencers, they come. You pop up fast. Yeah, because Pesh is always partying. Give her the alcohol brand.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Now,
Yeah.
over the last few weeks or month, should I say, I saw that a lot of influencers, young influencers, were coming out to also say that there are many things that are unfair in the market, and things that they were fighting for, where I think a lot of people feel like they're also being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Is there anything along there that you can also advise?
Yeah, there is that. So there's that constant, clients rarely want to pay. So, for instance, Pesh, right now, all I am depending on are my social media platforms. When you do not pay me, I do not have anyone else to go to. Then I'm seeking in debt. You get my point. So it's that constant cycle of they haven't paid you, then you're asking for more debt. Yet I want to end 2021 as a debt-free woman. Yeah, and that can't happen without clients paying. So I've realized one is clear communication from clients. I demand that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do know that there are certain processes that sometimes take forever to get payment and whatnot. I understand that, especially in government
Take
agencies.
6 months.
Exactly. I totally understand that. But communicate. Don't lie to me. I'm not a child. I have mouths to feed. You cannot lie to me about that. You get my point. So clear communication. Tell me, Pesh, we will pay you in this period. When you tell me Monday, make sure it's Monday, because I also have someone who I owe money on Monday. They
They're going
expect
to
a
tell on
payment.
Monday.
Exactly. So there's that clear communication, but also in the contracts that we sign. I've gotten a policy that, one, either you're paying me half before I start, or if you delay payment in this period, you'll pay a fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm not going to pay my landlady in vibes. I have to pay rent for 2 houses. I'm not going to call. There's one of my landladies who calls me like a million times. Like, sis, I haven't forgotten that I'm in your house. I know I'm in your house. I'm not going to run away. But I totally understand where she's coming from, because this is her business. You get my point. I can't give her those stories. So when clients do not communicate and they do not pay and they take us for granted, we have a lot of work to do. The creativity that you've put in, the time that you've put in, it is really unfair for that. So either you're going to pay a fine if you go beyond the period of time that you promised, or you pay me half, so that I understand that, yeah, you struggle to get this, then by
That's
the
a
time
commitment.
exactly. So that is one of the, I feel like that's the best way we
That has
can do
helped.
that. The other thing is the low pay. 10,000 Ugandan shillings here
10,000 for what?
for influencing.
Huh?
Yes, and that is really bad because then when they hear Pesha's rates, they're going to be like, oh, she's expensive. Or she's like, she doesn't even have the 100,000 followers. You get my point? But you can't lower yourself like that. If you keep thinking that, I mean, I've had that experiences of someone saying, yeah, I'm going to pay you this amount, this tiny amount for a
this
tweet.
is what we have.
I'm like, no, you have to learn to say no to certain things. I understand that we're all in different economic situations, or financial situations. So you might not be able to, you might really badly need that, but also you need boundaries. Because that client is also going to tell another client how much they paid you. That it's going to be a cycle and you're going to stay there. You're going to stay there. So until you understand what am I giving this, it all goes back to what are you giving the client?
Yes.
Are you giving them quality content? Yes. Okay. What are they giving you in return? You're not just giving them the engagement, the followers, but there's also some content that they're giving you because it is very important. So it's like, yeah, as much as you want more pay, what are you giving them?
What are you bringing to the
And
table?
also, exactly, and also when I want more pay, when you want to pay me little money, then, and you expect me to give you good work, that is insanity.
Okay.
That is insanity. You can't expect that from me. So anyways, they have to be very clear in their contracts about payment dates and if there are fines, if there is a fast payment, a discount payment.
I'd like to thank you for joining me on Crystal One on
me.
One.
Thank you for having
And
me.
we'll keep seeing you
Yes.
on your journey, and we'll wait to see how your tea marketplace evolves.
It is going to grow.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
exciting, right?
Yes, it is exciting.
So if someone needs to get in touch with you, I think Twitter is like the main.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much, I use the same name on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's Pesha Ahumuza.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get in touch with me there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
joining
too.
Me.
Thank you too. I was nervous, but this was awesome. This was a good experience.
Yay.
I don't know why I was nervous at the start.
Thank you. We're just chatting.